Welcome to a sunny but cold Charlottesville, Virginia day here for the Virginia Cavaliers 2025 National Early Signing Day. I'm your host, Ahmad Hawkins, and we're sitting in the 99,000 square foot Hardy Football Operations Center. And to my right, I have the head man of recruiting, Justin Sparrows. Justin, can you break down who the Virginia Cavaliers are welcoming on this special day?
Oh yeah, first of all, Ahmad, it's a pleasure to welcome this new crew of Cavaliers, the family. This is the culmination of a ton of hard work. That's many years in the making, right? So all the new Cavaliers that are joining the family are guys that we believe are phenomenal fits for this place, that are going to compete at the highest level in the field and in the classroom.
Yeah, man. And, I'm a Virginia kid myself. I had the opportunity to play for the Virginia Cavaliers from 97 to 2000, and I remember signing in February. Now they're signing in December, and as I look at the list, you have 6 guys from the state of Virginia and 8 players from the DMV. Can you talk about just owning the state?
That's right. That's right, Ahmad. I mean, first of all, when we kind of set out and build our recruiting board, from day one for any signing class, it always starts here in the state of Virginia. So Coach Elliott's mindset and his vision for this program is to build inside out, and so that starts with our state here in the Commonwealth, and then expanding out from the DMV, into the Carolinas and kind of just on this Eastern Seaboard. But man, we're going to start here in the state first and foremost, and so we're very proud to have 6 guys from our state, and then just like you said, 8 from the DMV total. And so man, that's going to be a common theme for us is just a lot of dudes from this state.
Yeah, I'm a little biased, 757, so anytime I see somebody from the 757, just Virginia in general, because we are at the University of Virginia. But before I let you out of here, you want to shout out anybody behind the scenes that help bring these student athletes here to the University of Virginia?
Of course. I think recruiting is such a good microcosm of just the game of football because, if one department doesn't do their job, then that could impact a recruit's visit, So everyone touches recruiting. Everybody from strength conditioning to athletic training to even our school pilot. Folks in nutrition. Everybody touches recruiting during a visit. So I could sit here and thank a ton of people. Really, everybody in our program is deserving of a shout out. But especially our recruiting staff. I think we have the best recruiting staff in the country. With Karina Hargraves, Blanda Wolf, Adam Choice, David Hernandez. Tucker Myers, Justin De Leon, Tyler Elrod. Can't forget Miss Carrie Kane, the best admin assistant in the game. These folks work tirelessly, 24/7 truly. Recruiting never stops. So these people deserve a very big shout out. And also our student interns. We have 15 student workers that work and grind constantly in the office. They're passionate about UVA football. So today is not only a celebration for these families and these signees, but also for them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And a much needed break afterwards.
Listen, this thing never shuts down. So it's kind of different nowadays. Signing day used to be somewhat of a finish line, but now we're here a little bit earlier. And so after this, man, we're gonna get right back to work. So 0 days off for us.
Well, Justin, I appreciate your time, man. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
People like you and the people you just talked about help bring me to the University of Virginia with your recruiting aspects and your acumen. So thank you for that. And next, we're going to have some coaches up, and we're going to get into some player film. So don't go anywhere here at the University of Virginia's 2025 Early Signing Day. Welcome back to the 2025 Early National Signing Day for the Virginia Cavaliers here at the beautiful Hardy Football Operations Center. And to my right, I have the offensive coordinator, Des Kitchen. What's up, Coach?
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
How you doing? You're smiling. You got some guys you like.
Got a lot of guys we like. Look forward to this day and the hard work we put into add some guys to this roster.
Well, for the folks at home that don't know, he not only coaches the offense in its entirety by calling the plays, constructing the plays, but he coaches the tight ends. And I've seen him in action coaching tight ends, having their elbows close, hitting the dummies. And you got 2 signees at the tight end position. Yep. First of all, just your overall thoughts of the position and what you want to see.
Yeah, so the focal point of this class was to add guys with some versatility, right? Size, length, athleticism, and really love for football. And, these 2 guys, exhibit all of that, right? They love ball. They're football junkies. coming from winning programs, another focal point of attracting guys that are winners, right? Get more winners in the program. And so I'm really excited about these two guys, Willem and Justin.
Yeah. So we're going to take a look at Willem. We got some film for you fans to just listen to Coach talk through what he sees and take you behind the scenes. And that's the best thing you could have. So we're going to go ahead and roll the tape and let Coach talk away.
So, Willem is a example of being live evaluations, right? He came into camp, I watched him in spring ball, watched him play in the season. A big athletic guy, 3-sport athlete. Does a good job catching the football. You can see he's got some balance, some contact balance to break some tackles and be an extension force in this passing game, down the vertical seams, out in the flats. Kind of some of the stuff we were able to do with Tyler Neville. I envision this guy being able to do some of those similar things. 6'4", 6'5", 235 pounds, basketball player. So got those skills you see right there to go jump up and high point the ball and still possessing that contact balance.
He grew up on a dairy farm in Vermont. So
dairy farm in Vermont, a worker, right?
Yeah.
He's a worker. And that's what I love about him too, man. He's a worker, very humble kid, just loves ball, loves everything about ball, be a great fitness program.
Yeah, straight out of Deerfield Academy. Has a teammate, Cole Gear, who we'll talk about later in the show. Next up, we got Justin Zames.
Yep.
We're going to roll his tape out of Berkeley Prep.
Berkeley Prep, a very good program down in Tampa, consistent winner, right? State champion, won state championship his junior year. His dad's the O-line coach. He embraces hard coaching, which I love, with that. But Justin is a bigger guy, more of an inline guy. He compares himself to Mark Andrews of the Ravens. He's a football guy. He wants to be a general manager in the NFL. So our conversations in recruiting, we're talking about personnel, trades, different things like that. He's a football guy, right? And like I said, his dad's a coach, but big body kid. He'll be here in January, which will give him a head start, in this process with us in the program. But he could be a guy that can dominate the edge for us and still be an adequate pass catcher.
I love the Mark Andrews reference for the Ravens because he does a little bit of everything.
He does a little bit of everything. So for a kid to kind of look for someone to try to say he emulates him, and Mark Andrews is a one to really emulate, right? A model of consistency in his play as a tight end over his career. So, I just enjoy talking with him and Willem and just their IQ for football, their passion for football, and their passion to be here as a Cavalier.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your passion going out recruiting kids and just speaking highly of them.
Yeah.
I always appreciate you picking your brain.
No problem.
Thank you for taking time out your day. I know this is the time of the year where, you can get a little bit of break.
Yeah. This thing about this group, right, we feel like we're bringing in guys that are winners, right, from the high school ranks that have won a state championship or taking their team into the playoffs, right? And that's just a trait that we want to continue to add into this program.
Well, I appreciate the time. That is offensive coordinator Des Kitchens.
Appreciate you.
Breaking down our two tight end prospects, and we'll be right back with this 2025 early National Signing Day here for the Virginia Cavaliers. And we're back. This is Ahmad Hawkins, and we're in the Hardy Football Operations Center. I got quarterback coach Taylor Lamb here, and we're going to intro two new signees at quarterback. Before we get started, if y'all don't know, he's a Hollywood star. He looks like Tom Cruise, so I'm going to be in the new Top Gun. It's Top Gun 3. I just wrote the script. But,
Boss, man.
Coach, how you doing, man?
Great, man. Great to be here. Great to be here, man. Yeah, great to be here.
Smiling.
I'm smiling, man. I'm excited about these two guys coming in here. Yes, sir.
I know one of them that you're really excited about. I know the other one, was a little injured. Yeah. But and we're going to start with the one that was actually injured and Cole Gear from Deerfield Academy. We just talked about his teammate, Willem Thurber, with Coach Kitchens. What can you tell me about Cole?
Cole, man. Cole is he's an ultimate competitor. I mean, a guy who wants to compete at anything he does. Super athletic. You went up and watched him work out this spring, and he was doing some DB drills, backpedaling, looks smooth, right? And then he goes and throws the football and then picks it up with ease. Obviously had an injury this year to his throwing hand, so he didn't get to play quarterback and try to fight back for his teammates to just get on the field where he could at wide out or, where he could help the team. But, pure thrower of the football, right? Super athletic talent, but what you like about him is competitiveness.
And I think I want to talk about the broken hand because
Yep.
a lot of times schools may back off for injury like that, but you guys stuck with him.
Nah, for sure. I mean, he's been with us for the long haul. I think committed about a year ago to us. He's one of our first ones. Great family, comes from a profile school in Deerfield Academy.
Yeah.
So he knows what the education is about here at UVA, and he values that, and we're excited about Cole.
Well, while I got you here, we're going to go into the film
do it,
room
man.
and check out Cole and what you saw in the young man.
Yeah, just Cole, he's about 6'1". He got a good frame on him, and then, you see that throw right there down the sidelines, and he can make all the throws from hash to sideline and make some throws down the alley. And he's got a great frame, but he also can move around and can run. Is what nowadays what you got to have, right? In the football world, I think those statues of Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are kind of extinct, and you're getting guys like Josh Allen and Mahomes that can run around and make plays. So this guy fits the mold of being a super athlete, and he's got a quick release, and it's a tight trigger on him, and he's super efficient. And obviously had some good years up there at Deerfield Academy in the past, and ready to go. He'll be here in summer.
Yeah, and he was a quarterback for current UVA wide receiver Tristan Ward last year. So
little pipeline up there at Deerfield. So
way to work there, Coach.
Right,
That's
sir.
smart.
That's
That's
it.
smart. So we just talked about Cole. Now we're going to talk about a quarterback with a great first name, and I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to let you say his
Bjorn.
first name. Bjorn.
Yeah.
That's a man, that quarterback right there, who had a big senior year, broken records, like 15 records this year. We're going to roll the tape and let you discuss this young man from Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, Bishop Moore down in Orlando. This guy's had a great high school career. Kind of came on the scene this spring for us and had a good junior eval on him. And this guy's a little bit, big body, big frame, and he's got the ability to as you can see, throw on the move.
Yeah.
It's a very, very catchable football, which is underrated. And you can see him move right here, and he's a physical runner. Can run between the tackles, and what you like about him is his leadership ability too, and his teammates love him.
Yeah.
They love him. They gravitate towards him, and that's the hidden trait for quarterbacks.
I mean, 79 career touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns right there.
Yeah, he's played a lot of ball, got a lot of snaps, got a lot of reps, and a lot of good football down there in Florida.
And I like how you finished the run at the end.
Yeah, no, he's physical. He's physical, and he's got the ability to put on some more weight.
You used to do that too, right?
No, I wouldn't like that.
You ain't run nobody over on the sideline?
No, I was a little bit smaller than that guy. So, yeah.
Well, Coach, man, I know this is a busy time for you.
Yeah.
I know it's a exciting time for you. Anytime you bring new prospects in and you can mold them to be great. Any last impressions of these last two?
Super excited about these two guys, and bringing two guys into class, and that's special, right? Because those guys get to compete for the next 4 years for the job at Virginia, and those two guys I think are super program guys. They're going to stick with us and help our team become better.
Well, Coach, I appreciate
you
your time, man.
Yeah, appreciate
Thank
you
you very
having me,
much.
no doubt.
Quarterbacks
No
Coach
doubt.
Taylor Lamb. I'm Ahmad Hawkins. We're going to go to a break. Before we leave, just realize he fits the mold of a quarterback. Look at that.
Appreciate you having me.
Welcome back to the 2025 National Early Signing Day here in Charlottesville, Virginia Cavaliers. I'm your host, Ahmad Hawkins, and I have running backs coach Keith Gaither. Do they call you Coach KG?
They call me Coach Gate. They call me Coach G. They call me a number of things. Good to be here, Hope.
This probably like one of the first times that we talked and you haven't asked me what to eat, because I know you love to go to restaurants, and you feed backs. So you're a running back. And we got to talk about the one running back we signed, Zay Davis. Well, what's your thoughts about Zay?
Well, Zay Davis is a kid that we've been recruiting for a long time. We had him at camp a year ago, so we had a chance to see him live. I had a chance to watch him play basketball, watch him on the track. He's ultra competitive. He's a kid that loves to compete. His better days are ahead of him.
Yeah.
His style of play reminds me of Xavier Brown, who's one of our best players on our current roster right now. So the style of play is very similar. Body type, same. He's a kid that once he gets with Coach Smo, he's going to develop more. He's got a good lower half, but his upper body needs some development. He's got tremendous ball skills.
Yeah.
Tremendous ball skills. He's a kid that we can use on the perimeter, line him up at wide out, get him in the screen games, throw the ball out of the backfield. He's one of those kids. So he's very versatile. So I'm excited about him.
Man, you're making me excited. You say he's just like Xavier Brown.
Very similar, coming out of high school.
I don't know about y'all, but y'all, let's get to the tape. Let's see him live in action with you, Coach.
So being a special teams coordinator, Hawk, and he also has some special teams value. He catch punt, returns kicks. So when he talked about ball skills, just the ability to make plays with the ball and without the ball, impact the game. He loves to play ball. He's got great vision, great foot coordination. Area that he's got to improve, just speed that comes with getting stronger.
Okay.
With our strength conditioning program, but he's a kid that runs well between the tackles, tremendous vision, and just an ultra competitor. And a kid that comes from a profile institution that he's going to do well with the transition from high school to college, coming from collegiate. So I'm excited about him. He's got tremendous grit, toughness, everything you're looking for in a running back.
Yeah, and you talked about his speed. I see that he runs track, so I'm pretty sure in the spring this year, that'll help out so he could report here a little bit faster as well.
Absolutely. And I watched him in the spring running track. He's a kid that's only get better.
Yeah.
He's a kid that plays 3 sports, so he's really never majored in anything. So we'll get to hone in on one sport, football. He's gonna blossom.
And the fact that you coach running backs. My last question for you, before I let you out of here, what are some of the biggest traits that you look for in the back that you need?
The first thing is, does he have magic? Can he erase a missed block?
Yeah.
So can he make someone miss? Can he make an offensive lineman right? And then football intelligence. Does he understand football? Can he handle protection? And then the last thing, just toughness.
Yeah.
Is he gonna win the one-on-one matchup versus the DB or safety? Is he gonna break a tackle? Is he gonna get tackled by one guy? So I think he possessed all the things we're looking for, intangibles wise and then tangibles. And I think you guys will be excited about Zay.
Well, Coach said the first thing he looks for is magic. I like that, Coach.
Oh, always a pleasure, brother.
Always a pleasure. Y'all stay tuned. We got more coaches and more recruits to celebrate on this National Early Signing Day here with the Virginia Cavaliers.
Go Hoos.
Welcome back to the University of Virginia, here for the 2025 Early National Signing Day. I have the man, the myth, the legend, wide receiver coach Adam Mims here. How you doing, Coach? You smiling?
I'm great, man.
I'll be smiling too if I saw what you see, what you have on this list coming in.
We got 3 good ones coming in, man. I'm excited about all 3 of them. Great kids, but really, really good football players. So I'm excited, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you had a lot of successes. You've been a coach here, Malik Washington.
Yeah.
You got Malachi Fields this year. And you still have a host of young talent that's on this roster, like from Cedarian to JR. But what do you see out of these 3 that really attracted to you that wanted to make them Cavaliers?
Yeah, just really just playmaking ability. What we've wanted to address over the last couple years is just bringing in more playmakers, guys that, kind of in the coaching term are erasers, that are able to do things that you can't necessarily coach. And I think that we get that out of all 3 of these kids. They all bring a different kind of skill set that's going to be able to help us across the board. Obviously offensively in the receiver room, but on special teams as well. So I think all 3 of these young men are going to be guys that we're going to be talking about for a long time and are going to be really good players for us.
Yeah, that's good. And I forgot the name, Trell Harris. My bad, Trell. Don't hold it against me. But first up, we got Josiah Abdullah from Woodward Academy down there in Georgia.
Yeah.
We're going to break down some film with him, let the fans see who he is.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Let you talk about it.
Yeah, Josiah, man, he is he's a really, really good ball player. Explosive, catches the ball extremely well. He's good before the catch, but he's probably even better after the catch. Great contact balance. He's got the ability to make people miss in space, which is something that we always desire out of this receiver position. He's a football junkie. He loves ball. He comes from a really, really reputable and good program down in Georgia at Woodward Academy. he's going to be a good one. He's a mid-year guy, so he'll be here in January. So I'm really excited about him, about his growth, and about who he's going to be for us. My expectations for all of our guys are always going to be high, but they're going to be pretty high for this one. I think he's going to have every opportunity to play early for us. Obviously he has to come in and do the work, put the work in, but I think his skill set and his ability, he's going to have every opportunity to do some really good things for us early on.
Yeah, and coming from that Atlanta, Georgia area, he's going to get that comparison.
There ain't no doubt.
That All-American.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he will.
County right
I'm
now.
sure he will. And whether or not it's fair to the kid, it's still a great comparison to have. Obviously Malik was who he was for us, and I think for any kid that joins our program, if you can, even remotely be compared to him, I think that's a compliment in itself.
Yeah, and the next receiver, we got the dog of the group, in my opinion, Dylan Newton Short. Man, and I think because he has Short in his last name, that makes him mean. South Chesterfield, Virginia. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, Dill, man, he is. I love this kid, man. I love this kid, and a lot of the reason why is, I talk to our guys a lot about the mentality that you got to have at this position. You can't be passive. And I know everybody thinks that receivers are prima donnas, and they got egos. But Dylan, he plays with a mean streak, man. He plays like an old school football player. Yeah. And I love seeing that out of him. He plays angry. And he attacks the ball. And he is. I think he's going to bring a different kind of edge to our group. That is going to service our entire group and our team and our offense in a way that we haven't had in a few years. He plays like a true football player, man. You can tell by just his grittiness and just how he gets after you on the field in the pass game and the blocking game, that the boy loves ball. And that's what we wanted to address as well, is we wanted to find guys that just love ball. And I think that he's one of them. I think that this kid has tremendous upside, and I'm really excited to see his growth and kind of how he develops. He's another mid-year guy, so we're gonna be able to get him in and throw him in the pool and see whether he can sink or swim. But I think he's gonna swim pretty well.
There's two things about him. He's from Matoka High School. Shout out to Byron Threet, my teammate here in the University of Virginia. Played linebacker, two-time All-ACC linebacker. And on the notes it says, when Coach watched him play basketball, it was like a dunk contest.
He's different, man. He's different, and that was one thing that we really kind of sealed the deal for us. We went and saw him play ball, and you can kind of tell a lot about a kid, a football player that plays basketball, and just his movement skills up and down the court were really impressive. He showed out that night, and that was kind of the.
And last but not least, we have from Trinity Academy, Isaiah Robinson, who holds something dear to my heart because Wally Rayner is attached to
shout out to Wally.
This fine high school. So what's your thoughts about Isaiah? One thing we're going to know about Isaiah is he's going to be a dog.
Isaiah, man, he has been one of our longest commits. He has been solid throughout this entire process, and we appreciate that more than anything out of him is just his loyalty to our program and to this process. But man, you talk about a kid that just the upside. I don't think he realizes how good he can be and will be. Long, has tremendous length. Has really good movement skills even for his length and for how long he is. Catches the ball outside of the framework of his body really well. So he provides again just kind of that ideal X position kind of look that we're looking for. He's been super productive over the last 2 years. He was hampered by injury his junior year, but he was able to come back from that and had a really good senior year. So our expectations for him are going to be high. He won't be here until the summertime. Okay. But that's not going to set him back any or anything like that. But he's obviously a somewhat local kid. He's from Richmond, the Richmond area, and just he's going to be a good player for us, man. You know, just you can tell, again, that he loves football and that he's going to be a really good player for us.
Well, Coach Mills, I appreciate your time, man. One thing I do know, that if you are someone who wants to play wide receiver, come to University of Virginia. And I'm not saying this because you're sitting beside me, but you will be coached well.
I appreciate it, man.
And the results will probably be positive results.
I appreciate it, man.
So
Always
thank
a
you for
pleasure.
your time, man.
For
Yes,
sure,
sir.
for sure.
Wide receiver coach Adam Mims and Maya Hawkins is going to take this break. And next up, we'll have Coach Heffernan, the offensive line coach. Welcome back to Charlottesville, Virginia, home of the Virginia Cavaliers for the 2025 Early National Signing Day. And I have a man that has the most important group on the team. That's any team, and that's the offensive line. Because without the offensive line, you can't score any points. And that's offensive line coach Terry Heffernan. How you doing, Coach?
Thanks so much for having me.
How your day been, man?
It's good. Very, very exciting day. Anytime you can add as many talented guys as we are today, it's a great opportunity to look back at the entire recruiting process and just kind of marvel at all the wonderful people that you get to meet throughout the year. And we're really excited about the guys that we're adding today.
You know, you came here from across the country, from California, from Stanford. Now you're at UVA. What are some of the things that you look for when you're recruiting an offensive lineman?
Yeah, so, offensive line, if this is 23 years of coaching for me, 22 have been with the offensive line.
Nice.
So I think it always starts with athleticism, which some people would say, well, offensive linemen, why do they need to be athletes? Well, to stay in front of people in pass protection, to be able to sustain blocks down the field, to be able to get to the angles to accomplish those blocks, you've got to be able to move.
Yeah.
And so you look for certainly measurables of frame and length and size, but without that athleticism, I don't think you can recruit guys. So it starts there for us, and then a huge part of the content of their character and getting to know these kids and who they are and how much football means to them and how tough they can be, and because there's going to be plenty of tough times to come as an offensive lineman. From day one, your job is to put your face through somebody's chest, and it doesn't change all that much throughout the course of your career, and you're going to be beat up and sore, and so kind of assessing the guys that have the right temperament for that, I think that's important as well.
All right, Coach, I love that breakdown. Right now, we're going to discuss the 3 new athletic, tough offensive linemen that you'll be welcoming here on grounds. And first, we're going to start with Jim Harris Jr. from Muskegon High School.
Yeah, so Jim Harris is, I spent a lot of my career in the state of Michigan. So between University of Michigan, Wayne State in Detroit for 6 years, and then the Detroit Lions. And when I was at Wayne State, we heavily recruited the west side of the state, and specifically Muskegon High School. Yeah. And why? Because they won state championship after state championship, which Jim's team did his junior year. Yep. It's a great football town, a proud program. They produce really tough people. And so much so that Jim's mother's cousin was actually one of those players that played for me at Wayne State, David Churchwell. So when I saw Jim's tape, I was really intrigued by his length and his athleticism. And then, just thinking about the place that he was coming from and what that kind of mentality and that background could bring to our offensive line room was exciting to me. So, and then reached out, started recruiting him, and was able to go up and meet with him. And really, once I got to know Jim as a person, I was even more intrigued. He's just a very impressive young man, very, very bright, has a lot of interests, was super organized. When I actually met him, not at the school, he was in a construction class that was building a house. Wow. So when I went to meet him, it was in this house that was partially done, and he had already set up a room for our meeting and gave his teacher, hold on a minute, I got to go meet with coach. And so it was an impressive interaction, and I came away hoping that we'd have the opportunity to sign him here.
Yeah, that's an awesome story, Coach. And I always say the more you can do, seems like he has the flexibility to play either offensive tackle or offensive guard. Yep. And I know here we're all about depth, so that should be a plus too. Next, we want to discuss Mr. John Adair from Franklin, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Lipscomb Academy.
So John was one of our very first commits in this class. He came to our summer camp 2 years ago. Was a guy that we really liked his early tape, his sophomore tape. Played center as a sophomore, but is a big, tall, long guy, and crushed it in our camp. You know, just watching him go over the bags, watching him do the drill work. Generally, we'll hold kids after and offer them after camp. And Coach Elliott came up and said, "What's the weight?" And we offered him about halfway through our camp and said, "This kid is a no-brainer." And we made him a priority for us in recruiting. And I went and, you know, kind of sent that message with my travels and with my feet. Went and saw him quite a bit. And about this time last year, it was almost a surprise to me. It was as early as it was, he committed to us. And he's been a leader of our class from that day on. And just a wonderful family. You know, really good student. He's actually wrestling this year for the first time since the 8th grade, just to kind of work and improve himself as an offensive lineman. And, you know, he brings a lot of athleticism, toughness, length, and he's a really, really smart person and an Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we ever need any knots tied or, you know, any planters built, you know, John's going to be the guy that can help us in the O-line room.
And, you know, we talked about wrestling because I always hear, like, defensive linemen. And I know defensive linemen practice like self-defense classes to get the hands of the offensive lineman off them, but how can wrestling help out an offensive lineman?
Yeah, so I'm a former wrestler.
Okay.
To me, I think that's the best cross-training for offensive line play, and it's just such a leverage, you know, sport. But beyond, you know, even the technical aspects, the bending, the leverage is really hard.
Yeah.
Every day's hard, and so it's kind of a good training for our world. Every day's hard in our world too. And if you can get your forehead driven into the mat a little bit and get up and be better for it, like, I think it can, you know, help set you up for success in college.
Yeah. And last but not least, we have Grayson Reed, who may be the most athletic offensive lineman. He can actually play more than one position.
He did.
He can play some pass catching position in 7-on-7, I heard.
Yeah, we try to not, you know, let him focus on that, but yes. So Grayson is a wonderful kid. You know, we see him as a center with some guard flexibility, but he is an incredible athlete. He can run. Last year he had a kickoff return for over 50 yards. He scored, I think, more than 4 touchdowns this season.
Wow.
1 reception, a couple rushing, blocked 2 punts for touchdowns. He had, you know, a couple games where he had 4 or 5 sacks in a game on defense. He's thrown for a 2-point conversion.
Really?
Yes. So Coach Engelberg at Murray has used him in a lot of very interesting ways, and it just kind of highlights the athlete that he is. We're going to have him block people.
Yeah.
Here. That's the plan. And so I'm sure he'll have plenty of ideas on other ways to use him. We're going to start off by having him put his pads under other people's pads and drive him off the ball. But he was a guy that, you know, committed to us last March, and has had a ton of interest from other places and stuck with us the entire way. He's going to be a leader in this program in the future, and he's a young kid. You know, similar. We took Ben York a year ago, and Grayson, you know, we joke with him, your parents got you into kindergarten, they couldn't get you out of the house fast enough.
Yeah.
So he's almost an entire year younger than everybody else in his recruiting class. So I think the future is balanced for him.
Well, I appreciate you taking out the time, Coach. And I know Wahoo fans appreciate you guaranteeing that we would not be throwing to an offensive tackle on offense.
Okay, all right.
That's offensive line,
All right,
Coach.
thank you.
And while we go on break, you see we're in this great facility. It's 99,000 square feet, right? The Hardy Football Operations Center. I'm going to let you view a flyover while I go get our defensive coaches and see what they have to say about their recruits coming in. Stay tuned.
Love that.
I think that we should put him in a 2X69 Douglas shoulder pad.
Stretch a little bit more here. Let me know when you feel it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a shake. Here you go.
I appreciate it, Ross. Thank you.
Welcome back. This is the 2025 Early National Signing Day here at the University of Virginia. And I have somebody to my right who always intrigues me every time I watch games or I watch film. And that's defensive coordinator John Brzezinski. How you doing, Coach?
Well, shoot, Calk, good to have me, man. I tell you, golly, aren't we in the best building in the country?
Yes, we are.
I mean,
Coach.
goodness, look at the, look where we sit right now. I mean, how awesome is this?
You could come here every day.
Oh, it's a blessing.
Can't beat that,
It's
right?
unbelievable.
Well, Coach, while we're here and we're celebrating, you have some new additions to your defense. I always say you're one coach that expects and gets the best out of each and every athlete that's on that field for you. And I'm not saying that just because you're beside me, but I always respect how you get the most out of your athletes, and now you have new incoming players. What can you say about the new Cavaliers?
Yeah, I mean, really excited about this group. I mean, you just look at it. You got a bunch of guys that are state champions. And again, really they fit the model for what Coach Elliott wants to build and what we are building as far as fast, intelligent, and tough football players. And when you have a fit group, it gives you a chance to go win. And so, you know, I mean, some of the highlights on this group, you look at it, I mean, it starts with the interior, you know, all goes through the middle of our defense. And so, you know, got a really, really good one from Atlanta, Georgia that's coming our way to plug it up in the middle. We've got an edge pass rusher down there from Atlanta that's going to go get after the quarterback. I mean, we go from the 7.57 with a young man that was a quarterback, was a receiver, is going to be a corner for us. You go up the road, you go to Richmond. We got really good ones coming from Richmond, all the way to the corner of the state to Salem. And that's where it starts, is recruiting this state, being great here in the state of Virginia. And frankly, when you look at the collective group of young men that we put together, it's going to be fun to coach. It's going to be fun for the fans to watch these guys as they continue to grow and develop.
I always love to hear that. I'm a kid that grew up in Newport News and Hampton, Virginia. So when you say we're trying to get the kids from Virginia, that gets my heart pumping. I want to discuss two scholar athletes that you're welcoming in. And first is Corey Costner from Perry Hall, Maryland. What can you tell me about?
You look at Corey, goodness, you just look at it, you know what, in his last game, I mean, he went for 230, 4 touchdowns, had almost 10 tackles. I mean, you just look at that type of production. He's one of those guys that he can play multiple spots. When he came, he did camp, he was a corner. Really, we're project somewhere between, a nickel to a safety for us. And he has just great athletic ability. You see that, again, he can find the football. Also, you just look at, his ability to be a great leader. And, you just watch, as you watch this film, you just see it, he just jumps off the film, got great ball skills, really good feet and mirror. And, I mean, just watching this clip, I mean, just look him run away from people.
Speed.
And that's what you got to have. I mean, that's what we're looking for. We're first off, when you're going to play defense, you got to have the ability to run. We're going to look at that linear ability, and then you look at his lateral ability, and I mean, you just look at it, his ability, his flexibility to go disappear on that tackle. And you can see it. I mean, look at this clip right here. His power, right? You look at contact power when they have the ball in their hand, and then you look at their ability then to find the football on defense, and you just look at it. I mean, goodness, going both ways. Explosive athlete. Grew up playing multiple sports. What's really neat too is his mom went to the best school. She's a Virginia grad.
Virginia grad.
I tell you what, she went to the best darn school.
I like that.
And so, to be able to, have him to be part of the program, Corey's going to have an unbelievable career here.
Hearing you talking about Corey, I just kept hearing a little voice in my head, kept saying Jonas Anchor. I'm sorry. He just, how you described him just remind me of Jonas when he was coming out of high school here at the Covenant School. And we're transitioning to Montino Williams, who is from Matoka High School. Byron Thweet, former linebacker here, went to Matoka High School. What can you tell me about Mr. Williams?
Yeah, Montino, 6'3", 190 pounds, almost an 80-inch wingspan. I mean, he walks in the building, and I'll tell you what, you're fired up about him. Along with, again, another guy that's super productive. What fires us up about him as a safety is he was a really, really good high school running back. Had 2,600 yards of total offense. Again, I mean, almost 10 interceptions in his career. And so been super productive, going both ways. Also a kickoff returner in a program that won a ton of games the last few years. And so he's another young man that came, did a live, workout with us, and I mean, he's just all over the place. A great competitor, and so we're excited to, see him continue to grow and develop.
And we'll check out his tape here from high school, and
man, that's like you see. Anytime somebody can jump over a defender, keep his feet moving. I mean, what great balance that is.
He's a teammate of UVA signee Dylan Newton Short, who I call the dog of the group of wide receivers. So if that's your teammate, then I know he got a nasty side to him.
And you see him just running away. Anytime that you're watching the film, what you're trying to see is, again, can they create separation on offense from defenders? And then right here, you can see the ball skills.
Yeah.
And then again, the ability to continue to create extra yards. He's going to, again, and then too, you just over and over on this film. I mean, length. That reminds you of Corey Thomas making picks this season. You being able to utilize his length. So it's what's great as far as got a great long tackling radius. And when we look at just adding to this great group of young men that we already work with daily, it's you got to bring big long frames in. You got to bring guys in that have great trunks and butt and legs, and power wins. It's a power sport. And I tell you what, on defense particularly.
Well, I appreciate you, Coach. I know with these two young men that help you out, I know you lost some guys at safety, some high-producing athletes at safety. And one thing I do know, young men, you will be coached up, and he will get the best out of you. This is defensive coordinator, Coach Rositzky.
All right, well, thanks. Appreciate you. No, I'll tell you what, I'm excited about this group.
Yes, sir.
So, thanks for having me.
We'll be right back with more defensive coaches and more prospects and future Virginia Cavaliers. Welcome back to Charlottesville, Virginia, home of the Virginia Cavaliers, as we continue to celebrate this 2025 Early Signing Day class. Now I have the man who coaches the guys who have to cover the fast guys while going backwards, and that's defensive backs coach Karom Cox. How you doing, Coach?
Appreciate you having me, man. We also cover those guys that have to tackle, so I don't know if people notice that, but it's been great. We got some versatility, man. Just honestly, we've done a better job recruiting with the guys, so we got more guys coming in now that are versatile. So just not just covering. I mean, we got some guys now that could to do the speed. So as we get and talk to some of these guys, that'll be some of the things we hit on.
Yeah, I know this coach ain't like that. Try to put them in the box that they only cover. I know you could tackle, Coach. I was a DB too.
Hey,
I know you played DB.
We can stat check. I think that guy Sankers kind of led the nation and conference in them tackles for a while. Great opportunity, man. If guys want to get that opportunity to get some stats, come on.
And before Clary got injured, he was leading too.
Don't tell him that, though. Don't tell him.
Oh, my bad. He was, though, Clay. But, Coach, man, I think you just hit the nail on the head what you look for at guys that play DB. I know they always look for us to cover, but I think you kind of chipped away at what you look for, but can you elaborate even more?
I think overall you just look for good football players, great human beings that love to work, and then just the versatility. I think, in our backfield, you got, just on our team in general, we got guys that are just special teams guys. You got guys that help in every compartment, but I think especially with this class, you'll see guys not just play football, they play basketball, they play track, they run track. They're playing receiver, they're playing quarterback, they're playing running back. Just versatility and just good football players, because that's what it takes to win. We'll get them coached up once they get here.
Yeah, so now we're going to take our time. We're going to look at a couple of gentlemen that you'll be coaching up this spring/fall, depending on when they enroll. And first, we're going to start with a guy from South Norfolk, Virginia, the 757.
Hey, we knew right away. We were fortunate to have him and his family come to camp maybe 2 years ago. And you see him 6'4", probably at that point, he couldn't have been no more than 170.
Yeah.
And we were right away, who is this guy? And let's find a way to get him to the program. And you fast forward to maybe 2 years later, and we're just so happy to have him and get him through the finish line. Just talking about what he's done. I mean, we'll watch the highlights, but I mean, this year he stepped up. Their quarterback went down. He played quarterback. Then you'll see him. I mean, just a tremendous growth and just the ceiling for this kid. Man, we're so excited about him. But yeah, he's a good future talent for us. Watch.
And don't worry, we got the tape, Coach. We can back up what you say right now.
There you go, receiver. I mean, what is that, like 6'12"? He might have grew to 6'12" already, by the end of the season. Slight work right here. Now you see him just coming off the end.
Ooh.
Bending, coming around. There you go right there, getting him off the field on fourth down. Now you see him at the corner position, coming up again.
Okay,
bending,
come tackle.
Going through the legs.
Yeah, talking to him too.
All right, and then you see him here up top, ball in the air. Just becoming a receiver, getting it down. I mean, that's just something small, but you can go on and on, but again, just football players.
Yeah, football players.
Because that's what wins games. We can't be on the field, but football players will help us, and we're glad to have this one.
A 6'4" corner is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of bump and run.
It's a good starting point. It's a lot of starting point.
Security guard, he's going to pat you down for weapons. The line of scrimmage.
We'll see.
You said we'll see?
We'll see.
All right, next up, we got a guy that I know personally because I coach indoor track here locally at Charlottesville for Albemarle High School. Josiah Persinger from Roanoke, he's go to Salem High School, and their 4x2 team were national champions a couple of years ago. So I know firsthand he can flat out fly.
Man, sometimes I think, one time he had a catapult number, I thought he was in a car, he was going that fast. I mean, dude, I think he might have clocked 10-4, 10, I mean, that's moving.
Yeah.
And the most important thing about it is, he's played running back. You see him with the ball in his hand, electric. You see him on teams. And just the growth over the last year, getting to know him and the family, just the maturity. And he's coming from a great program, so we want guys that win. They went pretty far this year.
Yep.
I think that's important, getting those guys in the room and just see his leadership. He's now voted captain. And one of the things I appreciate the most is just he does all that on the field, both sports, and he has a great job, and he's working. He's willing to put in the work, so just excited to get a kid like that in this program.
All right, we're going to take a look at this film, Coach, see what he's working with.
See him up here right here, no panic, go up, get the ball, come down, good body balance.
Nice pedal.
Fluid, right?
Yeah. Looking for work.
Yep. Yeah, I teased him about that one. I was like, you just went down. You might as well just not even made the pick. But this one right here, just taking all the angles, and this one showed me that he's come a long way. Watch the excitement he gets up with. And he wasn't having that confidence last year. Just now he's putting that work. And
this play is what you can't teach right here. Looking for work in cover two. You get the bait route. You understand the sail route.
There you go.
That's nice.
And then again, when he has that ball in his hand, man, he was going both ways and just still was playing that hard. It meant a lot to us as a program too now. Great family though, great family, man. We had a good time with them coming up and just, they've been up multiple times. It was good for us to just kind of get them here around us, and they loved our family as well.
Yeah. You got any plans for the break coming up?
Yep, be right in here trying to build this class up even more. Nah, we usually travel with my wife, but I don't know what we're doing this year. I'll let you guys know when she tells me.
I do know one thing. That beard looking good, though.
Hey, man, get that line, baby. Get some Just for Men, line it up for you, baby.
Moisturize it real good. We get some endorsements for you.
I tell you, man.
See that? That's nice right there. So this is DB coach, Coach Cox, They call you C squared? Because I just
CC,
thought
most
that.
people call me CC.
I'm gonna call you C squared. See, I'm gonna be different.
There you go.
And we're going to break because I'm thinking about his endorsements for his beard. Y'all come right on back. We got more recruits, more coaches we got to talk to. Welcome back. We're right here in Charlottesville, Virginia, home of the Virginia Cavaliers. And I have a special guest. Well, this is the 2025 Early National Signing Day, and we're still rolling. We're still getting recruits going. I'm your host, Amon Hawkins. I just got excited because I got a guy that brings a smile to my face right beside me to my right, and that's defensive line coach Kevin Downing. Coach KD.
How you doing?
I'm going to share you a fun fact. So I coach track at Albemarle High School.
Okay.
My name is Coach KD.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because Caden's dad.
Oh, okay.
So my daughter,
Okay.
so you're Caden's dad, so I'm not Coach Hawk, I'm Coach KD.
Yeah.
So.
Fun fact for me, I got that nickname in high school from my high school football coach, Jay Swicegood. There was 4 Kevins on the team, right? And he called Kevin, and everybody turned around and looked. So he just got tired of it. He just said, "You KD," and it just stuck with me ever since. All the boys I played with in college, everybody just called me KD. So I run with it.
So was you KD before Kevin Durant?
I was. He's the real KD though. I give him that. Right, but I was before Kevin Durant.
Like you bigger than him. Man.
I can't shoot it like him.
All right, Coach, man. What do you look for in a football player that you recruit to play on the defensive line?
Yeah, the first thing I think is just got to be a great culture fit, right? So what we're trying to build here at UVA, what Coach Elliott's vision is, we want somebody that we can build that, first of all, is a really good kid, right? That's smart, that's tough, that loves football.
Yeah.
Right, and we call him an OKG, that's our kind of guy.
Okay.
Right, so that's kind of what we look for. And then from the film, you want a guy that's powerful. I think the biggest thing in the interior D-line is a guy that's got to have some size, right? What you're doing now, how people trying to run the ball on you, you got to have some size, but you got some power. Like a guy that's got some suddenness, can move, a guy that's got some length so he can shed blocks. And then for us, the next level is, find a guy that's got some pass rush tools we can develop. Find a guy that can, in the interior that can push the pocket and get out to the quarterback. So that's kind of what we're looking for, the skill set. But the main thing is you want a guy with really good power, good contact speed, and a guy that's smart, tough, and love football.
Yeah, and with all that being said, because those are great attributes to have, turn my attention to Sean John. That first name, that's unique. Down there from Georgia, he look like Jameer.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's super strong. You talking about a guy who power cleans in high school, over 350 pounds. You see it there. It's a guy that can change the line of scrimmage. He's a guy that can penetrate, and he's a guy that can play any two-gap stuff you want to play. He's a guy that, I got to give a shout-out. Coach Elliott saw him, went down, saw him, and he told me, he said, you know what, KD, I think this is the type of guy we're looking for. I watched his film, and I was sold. And he came up here and doing the junior recruiting process, doing junior day. He has a really good family. His mom, he has another brother that plays college football. I mean, he come from a family that loves football, and he comes from a high school where the high school coach has won multiple state championships in the state of Georgia. Those guys are playing now in the Final Four. So his high school coach raved about him, just the leadership he has. And I had a chance to watch him practice in the spring. He's everything we want.
Yeah, he's at Hebron Christian Academy down there. Joint team is currently playing in the Final Four of the Georgia State playoffs.
They are.
You win any state championships in high school?
I didn't win any state championships. Wasn't fortunate enough. I won some championships in my life, but not in high school. But after watching this kid practice, I was sold. I came back and told Coach E, I was sold. Super excited to have him. He's a young man that's going to come in here and represent Virginia the right way. But he's a guy that loves football, and that's what I'm excited about. He's always a guy doing extra. He's always a guy watching ball. He watch our games. He called me after the game, like, Coach, this is what I saw, what you see. He's the guy that's checking in with me. He said, Coach, did you check out my huddle? What you think? I had a chance to go down and see him play, so I'm excited about him. I can't wait till he get here.
Yeah, you got some special interior group guys, too.
Yeah,
I
we
want to say
excited.
that with Britton and the way Hammond came along.
Oh, we excited, really excited. I think that class, when you talk about Britton and Hammond, those guys got a special future, and I look for C-Sean to come in and be a guy that can help build on that.
Coach KD, I appreciate your time, man. I know it's busy. I know you probably didn't get back to the phones, but I always appreciate you taking time out your day,
appreciate
man.
all your support. Really, it means a lot.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we got more recruits and another coach to talk to. Welcome back to Charlottesville, Virginia, and the Hardy Football Operations Center. I'm your host, Amon Hawkins, and we continue our 2025 Early National Signing Day, and I got the man beside me. Why you sitting up like that? I'm not a quarterback.
I was going to look studious, man. I'm a UVA grad,
He's trying to sack me. This is the sack leader.
I got to try to look
Chris
studious.
Slade. Do you know how many great defensive linemen that came after you, like the Julia Peppers, and your record still standing?
Yeah, that just means a lot of those guys left school early. So that helped a little bit.
Can you shake my hand without shaking too hard? All right, there we go. We got the handshake going. How you been, though?
Good, man. Excited. Yeah, excited about the recruiting class coming in here. The future's bright. As you see, we're in the FOC, man. It just shows the dedication of the Charlottesville community and administration is believing in the football program.
Absolutely.
Coach Ellis done a great job of not only talking about it, but being about it and getting the center here and just finish up a season and getting ready for next.
Was you a part of the McHugh? Like when you were leaving, they had just built the McHugh, or did you just miss the McHugh Center?
It's funny you ask, because like my third year, the McHugh Center had just been built in '91.
Okay.
And then, so at that time, that was like one of the top 10
it
facilities in
was.
the country. I mean, that was like the big recruiting pitch. And then, so I was able to be a part of that. And then coming here as a coach, I'm a part of this one. So it's been literally full circle.
So it's you.
No, not me.
I mean, I know the donors, we appreciate y'all, but you got that good feng shui, you got that good aura about you that says new.
No doubt, because I was able to see that one that was brand new, and then this one's brand new as a player, and now I come back as a coach. So it's literally been full circle. Yeah.
So while we on this theme of new, I want to talk about a new pass rusher you got coming here from Georgia.
Yep.
And I know you was the head coach down there at Georgia High Schools. Let's talk about Mr. Evan Ward from McIntosh, man. What did you see when you was recruiting him?
The first thing I noticed about Evan that really stood out to me was his trigger.
Okay.
And for you guys who don't know what a trigger is, not talking about with a gun, but how he gets off the ball. He has a great first step. He's very fast. I think he was like a 10-9.
Yeah, it's moving.
It's moving. And the kid can just bend well. He's athletic. His father played football at University of Kentucky for Bill Curry Sr.
Okay.
And so I knew who his dad was just because we were real close in age. And so he was at Georgia State when I was actually coaching a high school in Atlanta. Okay. So we had some history. And I knew Evan came from some really good pedigree because of his dad's history being a D-line coach and coming from, Bill Curry Sr., who I've known very well because his son obviously junior plays here. And junior and I had the same year. So I knew he was the whole package. And I got to give credit to Justin Sparrows, our director of recruiting. He really did a really good job of finding.
Justin did this?
Justin did this.
Okay,
I can't take all the credit. He was like, this is our guy. And I looked at him and I was like, all right, this is our guy. Let's make it happen.
Well, let's look at some film of this 10 900-meter sprinter that's in the defensive lineman's body.
So this is him coming off the edge here. You can just see his get off, and his first step is, like no other kid that we probably had here in the last few years. Yeah. It reminds me a lot of Makai Buchanan, who came here last year as a first year from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Same body structure, same violence, plays a lot of tenacity. That last clip was him ending the game on a fourth down play. Again, this is him coming off the edge, and he really puts a lot of emphasis on like finishing on the ball.
Yeah.
You see the strip sack here, and he's long. He's probably about 6'5". He probably weighing about 225 now, 230. So he could be a 255-pound guy with this speed and tenacity, man. This is what we need coming off the edge. A guy that can make the difference and make plays.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of a young man from the 757 that went here named Eli Harold.
Yep.
He used to rush the quarterback.
Yep, that's a good comparison.
Me of.
Same number and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just talked to Eli today, actually. Yeah, coincidence.
Look at that.
Yeah, I just talked to E today, and he's been great. He's like our number one fan, and he's always like sending guys from Oscar Smith down there, and he's awesome. But that's a great comparison.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out your busy day, man. I know your phones be ringing. I know you looking for more and more pass rushers to get to the quarterback. Coach said years ago he's trying to find somebody to break your record.
Yeah, that's what they all say. We'll see. I hope so.
Don't shake my hand too
no
hard.
doubt.
Now.
Thanks, all.
Strong guy,
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you always.
Always,
pleasure,
my guy. Appreciate it.
All right, man. That's the legendary Chris Slade breaking down our new edge rusher and Evan Ward, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the Hardy Football Operations Center. I'm your host, Amon Hawkins, and we're continuing our 2025 Early National Signing Day. I have linebacker coach Mike Adams, and before we get started, Coach Adams, got a question for you.
Sure.
We got any gladiators in this group?
There's a lot of them. Yeah, hopefully that's where they're all born, is out of the linebacker unit. But, yeah, a lot of those guys went down there on that unit and really tried to give it up for the program. So really proud of a lot of those guys that contributed towards that, yeah.
Yeah, you know, this is your first season with the Cavaliers. You have a talented group of linebackers, as you stated, they got beat up, but they showed they were gladiators. What do you look at when you recruit a kid to play linebacker here at the university?
Yeah, and really it is the mentality. You certainly have to have a skill set, and we look for versatility, guys that can play multiple spots, do multiple things within the defense, but to do that, you also have to bring some toughness and a willing to battle through tough situations. They're always going against bigger guys, trying to block them, guys running at them full speed. Sometimes they're covering players they're faster. So their ability to be versatile but still have a mindset of they can accomplish anything, anytime, that's really important. So that's what we're looking for when we approach these guys.
Yeah, I really think you broke down to the essence what it is to be a linebacker, because you are usually going against somebody that's bigger than you. You're probably checking somebody that's faster than you.
Yeah.
And you have to be that gladiator just ready to rumble.
Yeah.
Are you always ready to rumble too?
Yeah, well, at least they think I am, but yeah, them days are over.
Well, Coach, man, right now we're gonna look at the two new gladiators that's joining the Cavalier family. First, we got Isaiah Reese from Phillips Exterior School. What can you tell us about Isaiah?
Yeah, so I was excited when I first got here, and we were already involved with Isaiah, and he was everything that I was hoping we'd be able to recruit here. Saw the versatility, plays on both sides of the ball, multiple positions, and then when you talk to him, he's a humble guy. Like he loves the game, but he also respects the game, and I think he's just an excellent human, coming from a great family. Got a chance to really know his family and his folks really well. Seen them multiple times over the year I've been here. So just a great addition to our room, but our program in general.
Yeah, we're going to look at some film right now, and, you could just discuss what you see out of him. I know he played multiple positions, so he's everywhere on the football field for our fans to see, but just break down what you see right now in this film.
Yeah, well, those first couple clips, he's coming off the edge, and he's just one of those natural hunters. You don't have to tell him, hey, go find the ball, or violently finish on the ball carrier. He's naturally looking to do that wherever you start him. So, like the fact that he can play in space, he can play off the edge, and as these clips go on, you see him doing multiple things, covering people down the field in man situations. Wow. And the fact that he plays a lot of offense, he's around the ball a lot, he returns kicks. When the ball shows up on defense, it doesn't freak him out. He's comfortable with it, he can manage it, and he can play in the top of the zones, those really deep zones that we ask some of our linebackers to do. They get up high and play with depth and vision, and he just does he does that naturally. So he's everything we're looking for. Certainly he'll be a young guy coming in, but I'm expecting big things from him.
Yeah, and he's not only a do-it-all guy in football, he's a javelin thrower that competing for a national championship.
Yeah,
so
it's unreal.
Pedigree.
And I don't know how much he actually works on that stuff. Some of it I think he just does naturally, and he'll show you the clips of it. It's amazing how well. I think at one point he was the second-rated guy in the nation, and it's just something he did for fun. So now he's about to run indoor track, which is great. I mean, he's just a natural athlete that happens to love football. So those kind of guys I like.
And now we're going to transition to Mr. Justin Rowe, who's originally from Ontario, Canada, but he's in Asheville School, which is in North Carolina. What did you see in Mr. Justin Rowe that attracted you to make him want to be a who? Yeah,
very similar things that I saw in Isaiah, where, when you first start watching the film, you see the fact that he does everything on both sides of the ball. He's playing safety, linebacker, inside linebacker, outside linebacker. He's returning kicks. And certainly at a school like that, you need your best player to be able to do all those things, and that's what he did for him. And every week you would talk to him, he's got a different role, whether it's on defense or offense, whatever it is. So, and again, another high character, high achieving, and as you meet his family, you see why. They're phenomenal people and a great family structure up there in Canada. So I think, again, he's a perfect fit for this university and our program. And he provides all the versatility that we want in our linebackers, and then the mentality too. I mean, he comes across like a kid that feels like he can accomplish anything. So he'll be another great addition for us.
Yeah, he's also a young man that has a 4.0 grade point average.
Yep. Yeah, and that's, certainly that fits with the academic model here at University of Virginia, but it also tells me he's a quick learner, high achiever, takes a lot of pride in probably everything he does, and that's going to fit right in with our room. So, yeah, I'm excited about getting him here.
Yeah, you are. And what I love about these two young men, I'm a former track guy.
Yeah.
Big guys that want to run track.
Big dudes that can run.
And we know physics.
Yeah.
And if they can run fast, that means it's going to be a big collision.
Oh, yeah. Yep, no doubt. They'll become gladiators real soon. So
you see, when you talk about physicality and violence, how a linebacker coach just lights up.
Yeah.
Coach Adams is my type of guy. You remind me of my former linebackers coach here, Rick Lance. He was just like you.
Yeah,
so,
good.
Love balance.
Hopefully I can continue
gladiator.
the tradition.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you, Coach.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And up next, we got the boss man, head coach Tony Elliott. So we can ask him about everything football. Welcome back. We continue our Virginia Cavaliers 2025 Early National Signing Day celebration. And you know it's a celebration when I got this guy beside me, the head man, the CEO of football, head coach Tony Elliott. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. How you doing, man? Appreciate you taking the time.
Man. I know you're a busy man.
Hey, anytime I'm in your presence, man, I know I'm in the right spot. So,
man,
so I'm excited to be here.
You're just too kind, Coach. So we're celebrating new scholar athletes, as you like to call them. Take me through the mindset of what you were looking for this year and looking to supplement as the years go on.
Yeah, no, great lead in. Each year is different. So your roster is gonna change, and we're actually in a climate where, man, it's changing almost daily.
Yeah.
So projecting your needs, is a little bit more difficult than it was in the past. But we started early on this class. We knew that we needed to really focus on some specific positions on offense.
Yeah.
And then there were some key spots on defense based off of what we anticipated the attrition off of the roster. And so started there, and then you go out and start putting your feelers out, contacting coaches, evaluating film, and getting them on campus and unofficial visits. And that's the whole process that really culminates with an official visit. And times have changed, right? Remember when you were in school, you did your official visit in like December or January, signed in February. Well, a lot of these young men that are coming, they actually took their official visit back in June, right? So they made their decisions before the end of the summer, before they ever even played, their senior season.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, but I'm really grateful for this class because, man, they stuck together.
Yeah.
We really only lost one commitment since the summer, which is a testament to the strength of the bond with these guys in this staff. And gonna sign 19. We're still hunting a couple more.
Yeah.
Right. So there could be a couple more down the road. But 11 on offense, 8 on defense is kind of the breakdown. Man, we got 6 from the state of Virginia.
6 from VA.
VA, and still working hard. Still working hard. I like for that number to be higher.
Okay.
Because I believe that there are more players in the state, and we battled for some of the top players in the state, and we came up a little bit short, and then we won some battles too.
Yeah.
But we got 6 in state. We got 10 different states that are represented. So feel like we're doing our due diligence, both in state and kind of in the area where we feel like it's close enough for guys to truly have an appreciation for all that is here available at UVA.
Yeah, so, with recruiting in the climate that is at today, how can alums like myself help you and this staff and the recruiting department, see talent and learn about that?
Yeah, so if you got social media, you play ball, you know what a wideout looks like. So we welcome, anybody that recommends and understand that now we can't take every player that comes across our desk. It's got to be the right fit, but we welcome, and we're trying to go after the high profile guys, and we're also trying to find those diamonds in the rough too, because you and I know we played enough ball. A lot of times it's those diamonds in the rough that end up being some of the best players. So anybody that you come across, man, don't hesitate to send it our way. Let us evaluate it, see if there's a fit, and if it is, we're gonna go recruit them. And then also, man, just spread the message. You know, you have an inside track to what the program's all about, what we're building, and you've seen kind of every step of the way. You know what the foundation is. You know the type of character that we're trying to build. You know the competition that we're trying to create on the practice field, which leads to competition on the game field. You know some of the challenges academically. I think we can dispel. You know that notion that UVA is strictly a school. No, you can do both. And that's why I came to UVA. So I think all the alums just, man, telling your experience and how it transformed you from the young person you were to the man that you are today, and the influence that UVA has had on that. And man, we want to go chase championships, and that takes everybody, right? And the alums are a big part of, you know, this recruiting, right? So any way that you can spread the message, come back, right? Spend time here. I want the former players to come back, and you see we got a spot on the wall, right, for everybody to sign, because everybody's a part of it.
Yes, sir.
A beautiful new facility. Believe there's going to be, you know, investment with the new model that's coming out next year. So I think we're primed and ready to take off, but everybody is a part of it. And so I know we're talking about recruiting, and you've talked to all the coaches, and they broke down players, but the alums are huge. And tell about your experience of playing in Scott Stadium when it's full.
When it's full,
When it's full.
It's a beautiful thing.
And that's necessary. You know, for recruiting. That's a big part of recruiting, because we may only get one shot with these young men. We may only get one shot with them on campus, and they're evaluating everything. And truth be told, they're looking to eliminate you. You know, like they already have an idea of how they feel about you, but they got so many options, right? So when they come on a visit, they're looking for the nitpicky thing to say, you know what, I knew this wasn't the spot for me, right? And so everything matters in recruiting.
So, you know, just always want to share with you that as a former alum and talking to other alums, that they want to help in any way they can. They just want to point in the right direction, like the point person to talk to, who to contact. But we just want to let you know that we're here for you.
Well, I'm accessible to any former player, right? And again, you're always welcome in this facility. You're always welcome at practice. All former players got open access to practice to be around. Justin Spiros will be the primary contact if you have any recruiting type of content to get in our recruiting pipeline. But man, don't Blanda Wolf knows everybody. He's the one that kind of keeps me straight on the former players. But my message to you, and it's been this from day one, and it'll be until I'm no longer in this seat, is, man, this is home. You're always welcome, right? We can't do this without you, and actually I need you, right? Because what I need is I need the young people that are here to understand what it means to play for the V Sabre. And that's one of the tough things in college football now with all of the movement. Like, where is your true allegiance and your alliance? But at the end of the day, teams win, right? And to build team, you have to have the former players involved, you know, kind of letting the younger generations know just how important it is and what a privilege it is to wear the V Sabre.
Well, I definitely appreciate you, Coach, just opening the door as a former alum. It really feels good to hear the head man say you're more than welcome. You always made me feel welcome, and I know I could speak to alums that aren't close to Charlottesville, and I could confirm that you guys are welcome. He is a welcoming guy, and he got to smell good too, but we're going to say that for another show. But I'm excited about the young scholar athletes that are attending UVA. We was one game from being bowl eligible.
That's right.
Started off well. Added more depth, because I know that's what you want.
That's right.
Any last remarks before we let you out here, because I know you're a busy guy.
No, I'm really excited, man. I think we got two, you know, really good young quarterbacks that are going to come in here and battle and give us, you know, bright hopes for the future. I'm excited about the running back, in-state running back that we got coming in. I think he's a little bit under the radar. Reminds me of a couple of the guys that I took a chance on at my previous institution at Clemson that ended up being really good players. So I think he's got a ton of upside. Man, I think the receivers that we're bringing in are pretty dynamic. We got some really good, and two of them will be here mid-year, which will be really good for spring practice. Get their feet wet. You know, tight end wise, I like the tight ends that we're bringing in. We got one in the mid-year mid-year class. OL-wise, that's a big area of emphasis for us. And, man, I'm excited about the athleticism that we added on the offensive line, the versatility. We got a couple of guys that got tremendous versatility, and I think we got a no doubt true tackle body type for high-level play in the ACC. On offense, defensively, got an edge guy that's kind of growing into the position, but he can run. He can run. He's fast, and that's what we need. We need some speed off the edge, and man, I think we were able to get on one early and fend the big boys off, and I'm excited about the D tackle that we're bringing in. See Sean, he's having a heck of a year, still playing. Comes from a great program, so really excited about him. He'll be here in January, and then the two linebackers. Man, I really fell in love with the two linebackers and the athleticism.
Yeah, they playmakers.
Man, they're playmakers. One of them is a four-sport athlete. He's got like a 4.0 GPA. The other one is a 3-sport athlete, one of the best javelin throwers in the country. So the athleticism's there. And then DB was an area that we had to improve, and I'm excited about the 4 guys and still trying to hunt maybe one more before this cycle closes. But I think we upgraded with the athleticism, and we got some length, like C.J. Spence is 6'4", back there playing corner with a ton of versatility and a ton of opportunity to grow. I think Montino was a diamond in the rough, that we found. And then Josiah can just run.
Speed.
And then
Coach gets him to track.
he can run. He can run. And he's got versatility because he's an offensive guy too, and he plays special teams. So he's going to bring some stuff in the return game. And then Corey is another versatile athlete, great body, great frame, great family. Mom's an alum, plays at a really, really good school, be here in January. So I'm excited about those guys on defense and the guys we have on offense. And I'm just looking forward to getting the mid-years here, right? Letting these other guys finish out the spring. They'll join us in the summer. And then we'll turn our attention to now supplementing the roster with portal guys based off the attrition that we have as we finish up these player meetings.
Well, Coach, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for everything you've been doing. I'm excited about these new recruits, excited about you continuing to build the program up, and I appreciate your time as always.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother. Yes, sir.
That's the head man, the CEO of this football team, Tony Elliott. I'm Ahmad Hawkins. We appreciate you sticking around and just celebrating this great day for us. I'm a Who alum myself, and I remember in 1997 in February faxing my national letter of intent, but now they just,
it's
what do
all
you say, Spurs? Electronic?
It's electronic.
Electronic.
All electronic. It'll all be done.
And once we signed, we had to stay.
You had to stay.
Well, that's a little too
Trust
much
me, I remember.
information,
I remember those days, like hovering over the fax machine, just hoping that it came through.
And mine went through, and I'm a Who, and I love being a Who.
Awesome.
And it's Wahoo Wah, Go Who's, and that's the show.